So in example 2, you were asked to write the converse, the contrapositive, and the inverse of the conditional statement, if not P, then Q, which whatever P and Q stand for. So, I'm not necessarily going to do them in the exact same order that they're being asked to be done. I do them in a specific order because this is the way that makes sense to me about how to arrange them and how to think of them. Of course, you could do slight variations of this, especially if you learned it maybe differently in another course before. Sometimes geometry courses do talk about these specific logical variations. So, if not P, then Q. If I want to do the converse is simply taking the conditional statement, the two sides of it, and just switching where they belong. So, putting the arrow down and just putting the left-hand side on the right-hand side and vice versa, there would be your converse. So the converse for this statement would be if Q, then not P. The inverse is still coming from the original statement. Basically, you're going to take the two parts of the original statement and you're going to negate both sides of that statement. So the negation would just be doing the opposite of the left-hand side, the opposite of the right. So if you put these into this expression here and do the negation of not P on the left and the negation of Q on the right, the negation of not P is basically negating a negation, which is just going to make them both cancel. So you're going to have P on the left and, of course, not Q on the right. And so that would be the inverse. As far as the contrapositive goes, the contrapositive is simply taking the inverse statement and doing its converse. So I would start with the two parts of the inverse and just switch sides around the arrow. And so the contrapositive would be if not Q, then P.